Behind every betrayal in the GTA series, there were signs that we all missed. What clues did Michael in GTA 5 give to Trevor that he was about to betray him? That Smoke and Ryder were going to sell out Grove Street? And these betrayals are going to be going in order of most obvious to least obvious. So by the end of the video, I'll be discussing the betrayals that required a lot more detective work in order to figure out what was going on. Starting off with GTA San Andreas. Big Smoke and Ryder had the most clues that they were going to betray you out of any of the GTA villains. Straight away when CJ arrives in Los Santos, we have our very first clue that something isn't quite right. When he walks into his home, he discovers that instead of being empty, for some very odd reason, Big Smoke is inside.
You picked the wrong house, fool! Hey, Big Smoke, it's me, Carl, chill.
Now, CJ never questions this, and never asks Smoke why he's inside the house rather than being at the funeral. Big Smoke is hiding because he didn't expect anybody to come home. When he realizes that it's CJ who's now come into the family home, he has to come up with something on the spot. So what he comes up with is to try and pretend like he's protecting the house instead, which is why he confronts CJ with the baseball bat. But in reality, his intentions may have been far more sinister, and that is so that he can catch Sweet when Sweet comes home alone and vulnerable, so that he can jump him. And this whole scene is summarized by one key moment, where Big Smoke tosses the baseball bat onto the table, which actually ends up smashing the picture of CJ's mum. Classic foreshadowing that something to do with Big Smoke is about to tear this family apart. That's when the funeral ends up being ambushed by ballers, and they try and make an escape on their BMX bikes. Now, during this whole ordeal, while being chased by the baller gang, for some reason they don't target anyone else besides Sweet and CJ. It's easy to shrug this off as it was coded by Rockstar on purpose, just for the mission purpose. And listen, I'll accept that. Except this isn't the only time this happens, and the role actually gets reversed a few missions later in the mission drive-thru. During another drive-by attack, where the entire crew is ambushed by ballers, everyone except Big Smoke shoots at the gang.
Ah, shit, this is a great sandwich.
Smoke, stop stuffing your face and start popping them ballers.
I'm trying to enjoy my food.
And those fools are trying to enjoy.
Instead of shooting back at the ballers who are literally trying to kill them, Big Smoke is just sat there eating his food with not a worry in the world, almost as if he knows he's safe, almost as if this is premeditated. But we need to rewind a few moments here, because at the very beginning of this mission, there's also a very telling clue that involves Ryder as well.
Our moms get killed. We gotta talk about it.
We all gotta talk about it. They was going for Sweet.
How you supposed to know that? You know what people are like. Say they have love for you, but won't say a word. Too damn scared.
Some people say they saw a green Saber doing the work, then speeding away.
Yeah, but people like to talk, don't they? Anyway, that's half of Santos you talking about.
Yeah, you right, my bad.
It almost seems as though Ryder says too much, almost as if he's about to reveal more information than he should, but Big Smoke very quickly shuts this down. But what's also suspicious about this is a few moments later at the actual drive-thru, when CJ and Sweet are having a heart-to-heart moment talking about their mother, Big Smoke also tries to shut down the conversation as well, as if he doesn't care at all.
Hey, sorry, bro. You know I gotta know about moms.
I know, CJ, I know. I mean, I'm just trying not to think about it, so. I mean, I didn't even know she was hit until it was all over.
Yeah, right. Let's eat.
Now, as this mission is concluding, Smoke asks CJ to drive him home. And this is where it's revealed that for some reason, Big Smoke no longer lives in Grove Street.
Hey, Smoke, tell me why you moved out the Grove.
Man, got some money from my aunt. I mean, it's a nice place and all, but the Grove is in my heart, baby. It's where my dogs is at.
Yeah, okay, homie.
Except this property that Big Smoke lives in is directly in the heart of enemy territory. And when you begin to connect the dots linked with the next few missions I'm about to mention, the picture becomes a lot more clear. You see, every time you visit Big Smoke at his house that his auntie apparently gave him, Almost every single time, the crash officers Tenpenny, Pulaski and Hernandez are not that far behind. It slowly becomes apparent that maybe the reason Big Smoke moved out of Grove Street wasn't thanks to his auntie at all. Maybe it was his secret dealings with the crash officers, so that he could do dealings with enemy gangs and the officers outside of the prying eyes of his homies at Grove Street. And there is one thing that backs all of this up in one summary. Except it never made it to the final game.
Okay, say Smoke, what's going on with you and Tenpenny?
Who?
Tenpenny.
Man, I ain't never heard of him.
I saw him leaving your apartment.
Oh, is that his name?
Yeah, you know it is.
Man, it ain't nothing. He a buster. Likes to give people a hard time. You know that, Carl. But you know me.
Now, I think this was purposely removed from the game, because if this was left in the final game, this would have made Big Smoke's betrayal way too obvious. And there's another cut dialogue in another mission where a very similar interaction happens as well.
Why Tenpenny want that package?
Who, Penny?
Don't bullshit me, Smoke.
Carl, man, there's something about you, man. Some kind of strange kind of aura, man.
Smoke, when you gonna stop with this weird bullshit?
The truth is, Carl, we've been lost while you've been gone, but now we saved again.
What's in the package, Smoke?
So let's take a minute to acknowledge Ryder. For example, in the mission Home Invasion, if you accidentally make too much noise and wake the old man up, you'll realise that as you walk out of the property, Ryder has abandoned you, giving us a clue that he has this mentality this early in the game to completely leave us behind.
Ryder, where the hell you at, man?
We also see in many of his cutscenes that Ryder is a little bit of a drug addict. There's several phrases for it, but he basically is always referring to PCP. We see him in one cutscene digging in his garden, his backyard, because he's trying to find the drugs that he buried. It's pretty obvious to say that Ryder is a pretty big addict. But the biggest clue that ties them both together, in my opinion, is in the mission Reuniting the Families, where the whole gang arrive to the hotel and it ends up being ambushed by the cops.
Man, what you doing? Go, get back in, man. We out of here, baby.
I ain't leaving my brother. I ain't no buster.
Man, it's every motherfucker for himself.
And at the very ending of the mission, before the chase sequence begins, we see Ryder and Big Smoke reappear out of seemingly nowhere. And when CJ and Sweet get into the vehicle, they act rather suspiciously. Ryder seems to tap Big Smoke on the shoulder, and they kind of glance at each other in a very unusual way. Where on earth did these two guys go the whole time CJ was inside the hotel? I guess we'll never know. A few missions later, the big reveal happens.
Oh, no. Shit, Smoke, what you into?
That's it. Look at that ride.
That's the motherfucking green saber.
Except something's kind of wrong about this. Many players have brought up the fact that it almost seems like Ryder wasn't meant to be a villain at all.
Shit, Smoke? Crash making you sell us out? Fucking Smoke.
Well, it turns out in the beta version of the game, Ryder was meant to be a villain, except the reveal of this was supposed to be much later on, where in the mission Photo Opportunity, this was supposed to be the very first time CJ discovers that Ryder is a betrayer.
Ryder! Damn Sherm head, fool! Oh man, it's true. Ballers rule the families. What's he rolling with the ballers for?
So we've covered GTA San Andreas, but there's more betrayals in the GTA series that arguably are much more sinister. And next I want to move on to Grand Theft Auto 4, because I need to talk to you guys about Michelle. Now, the whole situation with Michelle is instantly very suspicious. Despite only knowing Nico for about 10 seconds, she gives in easily when Mallory tries to convince the two of them to go on a date.
Nico, you know what? You need someone to show you a good time. Michelle, how about you?
Mallory, stop it.
Come on, you guys. You're both single. You're adults. Take a number, Nico.
Hey, I'd like to see you again, Nico. You look like that kind of guy I want to get to know.
No more than a few minutes after this mission has been completed, she already calls you back up asking if you want to go on a date with her, even though we literally just said goodbye to her the same day.
You do not normally do what?
You're not making this easy for me, are you? I'm asking you out on a date.
However, on the way to Nico's first date with Michelle, Roman rings him and tells him that he's been cornered by the loan sharks, forcing Nico to turn around and go and save his cousin. Now after this mission, Michelle texts you a very strange message, asking you if you're involved with bad people. She's immediately jumping to crime and being associated with bad people. But the next clue comes when Nico does finally go for a date with Michelle, and it turns out that there's something very suspicious about her apartment.
Did you just move in?
No. Why?
All your stuff is new. Some even still have tags on.
Yeah, well, I like things clean.
I can see that. But, everything is new.
Yeah, I'm kind of obsessed with cleanliness. Things get on my nerves and I just throw them out. OCD or something?
Oh.
But her explanation about this being tied to OCD doesn't really make any sense to us. Because as you take Michelle on more dates, she will compliment Nico for wearing the same dirty outfit. Now, while Nico and Michelle go on their first date, she's very reluctant to ask any questions relating to what work she does. Instead, she's very persistent and pushing in finding out what Nico does for work instead.
No boyfriends or husbands or anything?
No, I guess I'm married to my job.
Well, what do you do?
What do you do?
Come on, I asked first.
I work with Mallory. What do you do, exactly?
You're a hard girl to talk to, Michelle.
I guess you're not used to talking to American women.
I guess.
The real clues, though, begin to present themselves as you take yourselves on more dates with Michelle. For example, if you go to the Irish bar, she will say that the place seems like the kind of place Irish gangsters would hang out. And another very interesting thing here is that when you take Michelle drinking, she seems to remain completely unfazed and sober, despite Nico clearly being very drunk.
Why do you always go and get the drinks? If I did not know any better, I would think you were trying to put something in my glass. Trying to slip me a Mickey. I think that's what they call it. Is that what they call it? You're not slipping this Mickey to me, were you? No. Of course not. I'm just drunk. Very, very drunk.
It appears that Michelle only likes to ask Nico very deep and personal questions when she knows he's under the influence of alcohol.
What was up with all those questions, Michelle? Are you drunk? I am really very drunk. I do not like those questions. I don't want to think about it. Why don't you want to talk about normal stuff? I don't want to think about it when I'm out with you.
Sometimes when you take Michelle home, you can try your luck, if you will, and sometimes she can deny you of that request. But then the game gives you the option to kiss her, and which sometimes she will reply very strange things.
No problem. How about the kiss?
Anything for my country.
Oh, please!
There's something strange about her.
In the end, obviously in the mission The Snowstorm, Elisabetta sends Nico to the abandoned hospital to retrieve some coke. However, when he returns it to the drop-off point, instead of the contact meeting him there, it's someone unexpected. Michelle.
What are you doing here? This is no place for you, Michelle.
As it happens, it is. You see, Nico, I have been working for the government. I'm afraid it's my job to watch you. Listen, I'm sorry it had to be this way, Nico. I'm really sorry. Hey, you know, you could have gone down too if you weren't so useful.
You
Nico, I'll call you. You know, as and when we need you. The coke, please.
But what about when the betrayal in a GTA game doesn't come from a villain? What if the betrayer is one of the main protagonists themselves? Obviously, from our perspective, Michael's betrayal is very obvious, I know. However, what I want to analyse in this video is the perspective of Trevor. What clues did Michael give that Trevor could have picked up on as early as the prologue that Michael was going to do something bad? Well, our first clue comes in the North Yankton bank heist, where Michael is leaving the vault. He's then suddenly grabbed by this security guard, but listen to Michael's words here.
Ace, I'll remember you. We forget 1,000 things every day. How about you make sure this is one of them? I've seen his eyes. He's great. Fuck! You didn't have to do that.
Let's get going. There'll be time for grieving later.
Yeah, you got that right. Let's go.
In hindsight, this hits totally differently, knowing what was then going to happen. Time for grieving, and Michael says, "You got that right," is a sarcastic comment from him, knowing that his best friend, or so-called best friend, could be dead in just a few moments' time. But the clues don't stop there, because as the crew escape North Yankton and all of the police swarm in on the bank, several things go wrong. But Michael is absolutely adamant that no matter what happens, they must go along with the plan.
Ditch the car, all right? We can go this way to the chopper.
No, hey, stick to the plan.
What?
Stick to the fucking plan. Come on.
Obviously, we know now that's because Dave Norton is waiting to take a shot at Trevor Phillips. But obviously, Brad walks in the way of the sniper rifle and things go very, very wrong.
Stick around back.
Ah! The fucking bed! Someone must have fucking talked!
Alright, Brad's gonna be fine. We gotta get the fuck out of here. I'm hit. Oh, Jesus. T, you gotta get out of here.
I'm gonna leave you, Mikey!
Go! God, I'm not gonna make it. I'm fucking gonna bleed out.
That's where the prologue gets wrapped up, but the clues don't stop there. Obviously, as we know, 10 years later, Trevor Phillips discovers that Michael is still alive.
Say to me.
Stop it! You're ruining my f***ing yoga!
Somebody say yoga?
Trevor?
Michael.
Hey. It's good to see you, man.
Yeah, I bet it is. Of course, I'm not the one that's been resurrected.
However, despite being reunited, it's now Michael's job to try and keep the truth about Brad and what went down at North Yankton secret from Trevor.
You're not abandoning her like you did me and Brad.
Yeah, Brad.
Poor motherfucker must have woke up handcuffed to a hospital gurney after that stunt of yours. He still writes to me from the joint, you know.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So, how you been doing?
There's times in the dialogue where Trevor will bring up Brad and Michael is extremely quick to shut the conversation down.
Trevor, all I need you to do is fly me to the target. Franklin, you're gonna cover me from across the street. We're gonna make these assholes happy and we're gonna walk away from this thing clean. Got it?
I got you.
All right. And we do this, and they help us bring Brad. Right?
Yeah. We'll talk about Brad later, all right? I gotta change. You better grab a head start. Any questions? Comments?
Yeah. I miss Brad. That crazy motherfucker was with us now. He would have loved this. Instead, he's got to enjoy himself molesting white-collar criminals in a federal penitentiary.
Thanks for sharing.
But the most chilling and perhaps closest moment where Trevor almost pieces everything together is in this moment right here, where he comes face to face with the man who allegedly killed Michael Townley.
I can remember that line. You. Where did we meet?
Nowhere, pal.
Yeah, we did.
Hey, oh, what are we doing here, huh?
This.
Please, keep this sleep bastard away from me.
No, Ferdinand. He's gone. He's gone. It's okay, I've got some new friends here now.
Let's rewind for a second there, because I think Michael's look to Dave Norton here says absolutely everything. Obviously, Michael being a very famous bank robber at the time, when he was shot by Dave Norton, no doubt Dave's face was all over the TV and the news as the hero who took down Michael Townley. It's pretty cool to see how close he potentially was to unearthing the entire plan right here. And there's a moment where you switch to Trevor that I really like, where you see him stood outside of Michael's house writing on a notepad. This takes place literally just before the mission burying the hatchet. And actually what Trevor's doing on this notepad is piecing together the final clues that he's been burying in his mind the whole time.
Let me just ask you something, all right? Something I've been thinking about. Up in North Yankton, exactly who was buried in your place?
I never gave it any thought.
You know what I'm thinking?
I had no clue.
You treacherous piece of shit. You're fucking dead. You're fucking dead! Fuck. Trevor! Hey! T!
It's pretty clear here from this moment onwards, despite him trying to still downplay Trevor and gaslight him into the fact that there's nothing to hide in North Yankton, he's in full-on panic mode.
You. Hey, come on, where you going?
You know where I'm going. You.
You don't need to go all the way to North Yankton to find out what I can tell you over a couple beers back at my house. Come on, we'll order pizza.
You. Your pizza. Everything it stands for.
In my opinion, Michael is one of the most shameless betrayals in GTA history, because even despite this very moment where Trevor is one dig away from discovering the truth, Michael somehow still tries to keep up the lie alive, just on the off chance that Trevor will believe him.
Go ahead, dig it up. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, that's what you look like. The guy who doesn't give a shit.
That's ridiculous.
How long are you gonna keep lying for, Mikey, huh? When's it gonna stop? What happens in the dark comes out in the light.
I'll give it a rest, Trevor. There's nothing there.
This is it. Moment of truth. As if I didn't know. Brad!
Look, we do what we gotta do to survive. This thing, it didn't work out the way it was supposed to.
Oh, how was that, huh? With Brad in the can and me in the ground, or both of us in the coffin?
Brad got shot, you saw it! He didn't make it. I got shot, I did. That's it.
Next, I want to talk about the source of all my childhood trust issues. But we should probably have realised there was something not quite right about Lance, when our very first introduction to him in Vice City comes at a very suspicious moment, where Tommy is sent to an alleyway to retrieve a phone for a contact that's believed to be linked to Diaz himself. Lance seemingly appears out of nowhere.
Oh, way to go, tough guy. Beat him to a pulp. That should make him real chatty.
You want some too?
Hey, chill. I want what you want, brother.
Oh yeah? And what's that?
Your green and my dead brother's white lady.
So this raises questions. How did he know Tommy was going to be here at this very time? And our second encounter with Lance only makes this more obvious, where he again corners Tommy in this multi-story car park when he least expects it.
Hogging all the action, I see.
I would argue that Lance picks his moments very carefully when Tommy seems to be in his most vulnerable state. Not to mention the comment he makes after dropping him off, that he literally admits he's going to be watching us.
I'm gonna go see what I can dig up. I'll be watching you, tough.
But it's not just appearing out of nowhere that Lance is good at. He's also very good at the total opposite, where after the mission Guardian Angels, after they've done what they need to do with Diaz, Lance just goes missing.
I see you soon, amigo, I think.
Shit, where's that guy Lance?
So obviously Tommy agrees to kind of work with Lance, but keep him at the side and just work together to try and figure out what's going on. The issue with Lance is he's very charismatic and he's very easy to like.
Now you can feed me all this lonely tough guy crap, but I know one day I'm gonna save your ass and you're probably gonna wanna kiss me.
wacko.
But Lance is extremely impatient, and the next clue we have that something might not be 100% right with him, he tries to jump Diaz without telling Tommy first. Lance let his emotions take over and makes a very reckless move on Diaz, resulting in Tommy having to go to the junkyard in order to rescue him.
There goes my careful planning blown to shit. Thanks to you. You screwed up real good, Lance.
He killed my brother. What do you expect me to do, mow his lawns?
But this also marks a very important turning point in the story's arc. Tommy and Lance agree it's time to take out Diaz before Diaz makes a move on them. And I guess Lance kind of expects a 50-50 partnership with Tommy, but that's not necessarily something he gets.
Good night, Mr. Diaz.
As the story continues at the Vassetti estate, it becomes more apparent that Lance is a bit more of a liability than we previously thought.
What's the problem? Some bars refusing to pay. They reckon they're protected by a local gang of thugs. But don't worry, Tommy. I can handle it.
You call this handling it?
Lance's late game phone calls are some of the biggest clues that he is about to betray us.
What's the problem, Lance?
It's you, my friend. I feel you're not giving me a fair slice. And more than that, you've been embarrassing me in front of the boys. I can't have that. I've done everything for you. You treat me like a fool. Don't do that.
In one phone call to Tommy, Lance acts extremely suspiciously, as it almost sounds like at the very end of the phone call, somebody is there that he doesn't want hearing he's on the phone to Tommy.
Tommy, it's me, Lance. Keep your mouth shut there, Tommy, because I ain't got no time to talk. I ain't interested in what you gotta say. Why should I be? You don't care about me, do you? You gotta look after me a bit better. Give me a spare slice, you know? People patronize me all my life, treat me like a little kid. My brother would do that. Please, man, don't do that. I gotta go.
The very moment where Lance decides to sell Tommy out is never actually revealed, but I believe it's somewhere between these two late game phone calls where Lance seems very bitter that it begins to shift. And by the end of the game, in the very last mission, completely unsuspectingly to many of us who played the game for the very first time, Lance decides to sell Tommy out.
But at least someone in your chicken shit organization knows how to do business. Isn't that right, Lance?
Sorry, Tommy. This is Vice City. This is business.
You sold us out.
No, I sold you out, Tommy. I sold you out.
So for this next one, I want to discuss a betrayal that was so unsuspecting but had clues we should have picked up on, and that again takes us to GTA 4. Dimitri Rascalov. The thing that sucks the most about Dimitri's betrayal is that by the time it happens, he's sort of led you to believe he's the only person in Liberty City who's looking out for you. Our very first encounter with Dimitri is the catalyst for this feeling, because as Roman and Nico are kidnapped by Mikhail Faustin's men and taken to the basement and interrogated, it seems like Dimitri is the only sane person in the room.
Shut up! Shut up! Roman, shut up! Shut up, Roman! Roman, shut up! Fuck!
Mikhail! Shut up! Stop shooting people, you maniac! My wife doesn't like when people shout!
Whatever! You better get those screens soon!
Or I will personally pull your cousin's stitches out, one by one, and watch his guts spill onto the floor! Clean this shit up!
Listen, we'll take care of your cousin, but you better get a police car, and then you call me.
When Dimitri reassures Nico that he's going to look after Roman, this only solidifies our trust in him as the only rational thinker in the room. In the next mission, Do You Have Protection, there's also another clue where Dimitri openly admits that they're about to go against Mikhail Faustin's orders.
We're going to ignore what Mikhail said and try not to kill them. Taking a bite of this pie would be very profitable for our operation.
I got no problem with sparing some lives.
No, it's Mikhail that has that issue. Can't keep his finger off of the triggers. Wasn't always like this, though. Things got to him.
I hope it don't get to me.
But the most important conversation with Dimitri, where he truly wins Nico's trust, is on the way back from this mission, where he tries to convince Nico that actually he's the one who decided to keep him alive and convince Faustin that Nico is worth keeping around.
You killed Vlad. That angered Mikhail no matter what he said. It was very difficult for me to persuade him that a man like you could be more useful to us alive than dead.
You trying to tell me I owe you my life?
No, I'm not. I was trying to tell you that I'm a man who appreciates a good business venture when one comes along.
What makes this even worse is that by the time we actually get to the mission where we kill Faustin, it turns out that he reveals it was the complete opposite way round.
You would be dead if it wasn't for me. That is what Dimitri wanted when you killed Vlad.
In my opinion, the biggest clue for Dimitri comes in the mission Final Destination, where Faustin sends Nico to kill the son of Lenny Petrovich. Now, admittedly, in the cutscene, Dimitri is very hesitant for this to go ahead, begging Faustin not to go ahead with the killing, but never specifically mentions why. He mentions that he's his cousin's boyfriend, but not how significantly important this guy is to the world of crime, and that's very important. As Nico heads on his way to kill Lenny Petrovich, you can actually call Dimitri, where Nico will ask him if he thinks he should go ahead with it, and listen to what he says.
Dimitri, should I do this? Should I kill this boy for Mr. Faustin?
Just 1 second, Mikhail. It's nobody. We cannot talk just now. Do what you have to do.
Now, if Dimitri really wanted to tell Nico not to do this, he would explain that this guy is Lenny Petrovich's son. Don't do it. It's going to start a war of crime. However, instead, Dimitri doesn't tell you that, and he just tells you to do what you've got to do. Because the fallout from Lenny's death gives Dimitri exactly what he wanted.
Nico, do you know what you have done?
I had followed Mr. Faustin's orders, not much more.
The boy you killed was the son of Kenny Petrovich. This is a very dangerous man. You will not take kindly to this.
How was I to know?
You weren't. This is Mikhail's craziness. I will speak to people and see what I can do.
What he truly wanted is for Faustin to be taken out. By allowing Faustin to allow Nico to kill Lenny Petrovich's son, he knew that there would be retaliation, and that retaliation would likely be to kill whoever ordered the hit. Dimitri knows this because he's far more calm and collected. And thus comes the moment. Everything has come into place for this very moment. And he doesn't even need to do the convincing at this point. All he has to do is ask a rhetorical question, and Nico is ready to do it.
You're given a choice. Kill your best friend or die. What do you do?
And there is no way out?
Not now. Not after you killed Petrovich's son. I told them you were a hired gun. And they said as long as you were the one to kill him, you'd be spared.
So that's the way it is.
Yes, that's the way it is.
And while Nico is on the rooftop chasing Faustin down, some of the most relevant lines in GTA history come up. Faustin says that Dimitri got too greedy and that someday he will betray Nico as well.
America made him greedy. Dimitri will turn on you as well. We shall decide.
When I give out the money, it's us. When I have to push people, it's me. All alone. Don't think I cannot see through you. After all we've done together.
Little did we know that this would happen moments later, where Dimitri calls Nico and tells him to meet him at a warehouse alone. Now, obviously, being asked to come to a secluded warehouse is a little sketchy, but being asked to come alone, well, that only makes things more obvious.
Hey, Nico. Glad you can make it.
Yes. You got the money?
Sure. But I just wanted to say how grateful me and my bosses are for what you did.
Good.
Yes. And I just wanted to check something with you.
Okay.
You are Nico Bellic, correct?
What is this?
And you used to work the coast in the Mediterranean, smuggling people into Italy.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But you messed up. And left a lot of bad debt. You left a good friend of mine out of pocket. Big time.
Hello, Nico.
Hello, Mr. Bulgarin.
Yes. Where is our money?
I don't know. I didn't rob you.
Really?
We were busted a mile off the coast. I had to swim for my life. I don't know what happened. I nearly drowned.
Huh. My heart is bleeding.
I did my best! I didn't f*** up!
I'm almost at 400,000 subscribers, and I would love to hit that within the next few weeks. Literally 95% of people that watch my videos are not subscribed as well. So if you guys enjoy these videos, me in front of the green screen and whatever, then you love GTA, make sure you guys subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios.